Hey everyone, I'm Joanna. I'm a product designer at Wix Stores.
Hi, I'm Ayana. I'm on the UX team at Wix Stores, and I specialize in content.
We're really excited to show you guys our brand new product page that we just released as part of the Wix Studio launch. We'll start by introducing the new product page, what it offers, doing a quick overview of the new features that we have. Then we're gonna look at some best practices for high converting product pages. And then I'll do a product demo. We'll do a product demo showing you guys how to implement these best practices on our new product page using all the new capabilities that it has. So introducing the new product page. Basically, it's a product page that we've built with partners and agencies in mind. It offers a lot more design and customization freedom for every component on stage, on the page. Basically, to enable you guys to reach the design that you need and for your case and for your brand, and be much more specific. So let's do a quick overview of the new features that the product page has. Basically, it's built on the blocks technology that some of you may know. So it means we're using Wix editor elements, and they come with their own design capabilities that you already know building sites on Wix. So that already gives a lot more options. You can design the widget globally, or you can fine tune every element. It's fully responsive out of the box, and you can design it per breakpoint, so you can adjust mobile view. You can mix and match. Yeah, that's great. You can mix and match layouts from each element to create more versatile product pages and layouts. And you can also extend the product page using the new plugins feature. And then I'm going to show you in a second. So let's dive in a little bit on these features. So as I mentioned, we're using editor elements on our page. So that means, for example, that the image, like the product image gallery, is using Pro Gallery now. So that comes with a combination of 2 new gallery layouts and all of the granular settings that they have to really fine tune and customize them. So that's already like a big improvement that we didn't have on our previous product page, which only had the thumbnail option. This is what global customization looks like. It's basically a global design panel where you can control a lot of elements in bulk on the page. So you can do a quick overview if you need to style all of your inputs, for example, or all your buttons. And the granular customization, basically you can click on a lot of different elements and they have their own layout options and design options. So you can do that fine tuning afterwards. And designing per breakpoint. Basically, you can design everything and change everything per breakpoint on the site. That means all the layouts, all the design, styling, etc. This is an example. You can see the layout of the gallery changing between mobile and tablet and desktop. And this is what the plugins app looks like, the plugins modal. Currently, these are the apps that we have on there. There's a wish list, which we already had, but we also have the native Wix reviews now, which is really exciting. And I'm going to talk about how important it is to use this feature. So let's dive into some best practices for better conversion on product pages. First and foremost, the product images. It's the main thing that users interact with and notice on the page. So you really need to invest in that element. Use at least like 3 to 5 images of showing all angles and features of the product. Use high quality images. It's important to show the product in context and scale. And if it's, for example, like fashion or cosmetics, show them on people, on models, preferably of all sizes and all skin types, so everyone can relate and understand how it will look on them. It's really important to supply the best visual information, the most visual information that you can for the product, so users are certain that this is the right product for them. Videos are also really helpful to show features that are hard to show in images, in still images. And also, if it's a visual kind of product, then consider devoting at least half of the page to the gallery. And if you have high quality images, just give them space and give them, the right size. This is more of a design tool to help users focus on the important elements on the page. In a product page, it's usually like the price and the main CTA button. Choose one CTA button that you think is the one that's the most important for your product. It could be the buy now, it could be the add to cart, whatever you feel like is right for your type of product. And make sure that they stand out on the page. So if your product has a lot of information and your page is really heavy on text, you can use collapsible elements, collapse the description to fewer lines. In the info sections, you can use a collapsible layout, as we see in this example. And you can see that it's very not intimidating when the page is focused and minimal and, not very noisy. So making your page mobile friendly is super important because we know that most of the site traffic today comes from mobile. And even though we know that mobile conversion rates are still lower than desktop, and that's because people are not optimizing their mobile views enough. So make sure that you give this the right attention, go over your mobile design and adjust it to make sure that it is the nicest experience for the size. You can adjust layout, sizes, etc. User reviews, I mentioned that we have this new feature now. So it is really important for conversion to use this feature because users really depend heavily on user-generated reviews. They look for them. Without them, they don't feel comfortable enough, confident enough to make the purchase. So I believe and we know that it will really improve conversion if you use this feature. If you have negative reviews that are genuine, you should just respond to them. Don't delete them because then it won't look really natural. And users do look for the negative ones, so make sure you respond and don't just leave them like that. And they're also great for SEO. And I'm going to pass the stage to Ayelet, who's going to talk a bit about content and SEO.
Right. So Joanna spoke a lot about layout and design, and she's going to show in a bit how we're going to implement all this great advice on the product page. But I'm going to give a few tips for the actual content of the page and the information that you want to include. You spoke about reviews, which are really great for SEO, but also for content, because people really look for reliable information. And no matter how much information you give yourself or for your clients, the information from other customers is always the most reliable and always is considered the most reliable. But beyond that, it's really important for product pages so you focus a lot on the features and benefits of each product, right? So the customers who come into this page don't have the opportunity to ask questions. Even if you have like a chat function on your site, research shows that people don't actually use the chat that often, and they really rely on the information that exists on the page. Research also shows that if somebody doesn't find the answer to their question on the page, they're not going to assume it's missing. They're going to assume that the product just doesn't have that thing that they're looking for. So it's super vital that you have as much information as possible. And as Joanna was saying, you don't have to expose everything on the page, from the first look. Some of those things can be collapsed or hidden, especially in mobile. It's also important that you avoid. Wait a sec. You can use the higher. Okay. It's also important that you avoid using like empty statements. So talk about what the product can do for the customer, and don't just say, it's high quality, it's beautiful. Say what makes it high quality, and let the people or the customers understand for themselves what this product is going to do for them. And make sure they're not missing out on a lot of people because you're only focusing on your main audience. In this example here in the presentation, I'm showing running shoes. And the main description for the running shoes is full of jargon and terms that maybe only runners understand, which is totally fine. But then they also have a section that explains these terms for people who aren't runners, who are just starting to run. And you don't want to miss out on those people or have them go somewhere else where they might find this shoe for a better price because they are looking for more information. Next up, help your customers choose. So a lot of times, especially if we have so much information on the page, and if we have a lot of products from the same category, it can be hard to compare between them. So you want to make sure that you're highlighting the key features for each product. And especially in a situation like this, where you have a lot of iPhones on your page and you want to help the customer choose between them and not have them go somewhere else to make that decision, you should highlight all of those product features. You should make the feature section easily scannable with some tips that Joanna is going to show in a bit, and also align your terminology across all the products in the same category. So you want to make sure that you're using the same words, that they're really easy to compare. And the last point for this is, and you're probably wondering about SEO, because when we talk about content in product pages, SEO comes up a lot. So I'm happy to tell you that all these things are actually super good for SEO as well, because SEO gets a boost when your customers stay on the page for a long time, when they find the information they're looking for, and when Google recognizes that they found the page, useful and insightful. So as long as you keep in mind all those tips that help customers purchase, you're also going to get ranked better in Google. So these are our top takeaways for how to create better converting product pages. And we want to take all of those tips and those best practices and show you how to implement them with some of our new features. So really excited about that. And let's dive into our demo. Just like the old product page, this one also starts with adding the data for the product directly in the business manager or in the dashboard. So we want to go to our dashboard first and enter all the information about the product. We can't have a webinar in 2023 without talking about AI. So I'm going to do a small segue to talk about one of our newest features in the product page, which is the AI text generator for product descriptions. If you haven't had a chance to use it yet, it's right here next to the description. You just click Generate AI Text, and you get this very simple panel that lets you create product descriptions in absolutely no time. So a few tips for creating text and descriptions with AI. Notice that this is pretty much already set up to create product descriptions behind the scenes. We already kind of told the tool what a product description should look like, how long it should be. So all you need to do is put in the name of the product, your business type, and as much information as possible about this product. So everything we said about the features and benefits earlier are things that you can put here in the prompt for the product description and get just a very good, well-structured description that has everything we spoke about. So a few tips about that. First of all, you want to make sure that you put in as much information as possible, because AI, unfortunately, is still not human. It does make mistakes, and it often makes stuff up. So if you don't put enough information in, it's just going to make stuff up about the product, which is not what you're going for. You can also tell it what type of product it is, right? So I'm saying it's a lipstick. You can tell it what you want to highlight, who the audience is, or what style you're looking for, just like a ChatGPT if you've used it. And you can also just try it one time, right? Just enter everything, create text, read the options that it's giving you, and then decide if you want to add more information or refine it a bit. So that's just one thing that we wanted to show. And then everything that you couldn't fit into the description, you want to put in the additional info sections, right? So those can be collapsed. They can be exposed only when the customer wants them. And a few tips about that. In the benefits section, for example, I put everything in bullet points, and I made sure not to just say, that it's non-bleeding, or that it's not flaking, I'm also saying it lasts for 12 hours. So I want to give some facts that customers can relate to and can help them believe that this product really is high quality and beautiful. Another thing that I did in the ingredients section, I made sure to highlight the best ingredients or the nicest ingredients at the top and explain what they are. Because, the full list of ingredients is really scary and probably nobody knows what those ingredients mean. So I want to help my customers by highlighting things that I think are cool about this product. And lastly, you'll notice that I even have a section that's just for what it doesn't contain. So in a lot of these products, it's important for customers to know that they're vegan, that they're hypoallergenic, or all those things that they don't want in their product. So even that is super important information to convey. And with that, I'm going to give it back to Joanna, who's going to show you how to design all those things with our pretty cool new product page.
So let's dive into the editor. First, I'm going to just show you guys these images. You see, we talked about which images to use. So I used the object itself, but I also showed it in context on models of different skin types. And I also added a video here. Okay, so let's dive into the editor. This is the product page that I've already made, and this is what I'm going to recreate with you guys. This is what it looks like. It has the new feature review. It has the related products sub-feature that we have. And it also has this really cool element that I added with an API that we're about to open. So let's dive into it and see how it looks. Okay, so let's start with our gallery because we want to make it look really nice. As I said, we're using Pro Gallery. So there's a lot of layout options here. Grid, it works really nice. A lot of times you can adjust the thumbnail size or set it. If you want to set the images per row, you can do that. I guess a lot of you know this component already and what it offers, but still see the difference it makes from the previous. I mean, thumbnails is great, by the way. It's one of the most common layouts that is used on product pages. And we provide the default that is most common and most practical. But if you want to make like a wow product page, then we are offering a lot of abilities now. So this is the grid one, which is nice. I want to try other ones. This one is an alternate, so it shows you one image and then two images per row, again, on and on like that. There's the collage one, which is kind of smart and creates this interesting collage. You can change the density, play around with that. Let's see if I change the ratio of the whole widget of the whole page. Maybe it would affect how these images work out. So I'm going to try the 50-50 one. I like this. I like that the video is big. I can also make the video play on load and not on hover. I want it to autoplay, and I don't want a play button. So I can do that. And what's nice as well is that you can design almost everything here. So for example, I want to make everything on this page have a corner radius. I don't want it to be very straight lines. So I'm going to choose the image container. I'm going to add 20 pixels corner radius. And I also want to add like a cute border, a pink border like that. So this is already looking pretty cool. Another thing, now I want to make the users focus a little bit more on what we said, like the important things. So the price and the CDA. So there's some elements on here that I don't really need and I think I can remove. So I don't need this navigation. I'm going to remove that. And I don't really need quantity here because they can edit it on the card. So I want to make this a bit more minimal. If I want to get them back, we have this elements panel and it has all the elements on the page and you can just bring it back. So here you can also hide and show using this panel. It depends on what's more comfortable for you. And the description, that I had made with ChatGPT is kind of long. So I'm going to collapse it to, 3 lines looks good. I can adjust the spacing between the read more button and the text. I can also design everything. So I think I'm going to design it in black and add an underline. So this is already giving the CTA much more focus. Let's just make the title a bit bigger. Give it like a design statement. And in the pricing, we have all the different pricing options that we have in the back office. So you can design all of them through here, depending on what your product is using. In this case, this product is on sale. So I can design a strike through price. Let's make it stand out less. And I want to make the price stand out. So I'm going to give it like pink color. Now I can design my options. So like I said, I don't want any straight lines on this product page. So I want to give the drop down a corner radius as well. And I can totally design it. If some of you know our old product page, we couldn't design inputs on it at all. So now we have this option.
Yeah, this already looks so different from our old product page.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to design this. Going to give the icon this pink color. I want the text to be pink as well. And I want to remove the border. Don't forget to do all the different states here because there's a lot of design options. You can design all the states. Just make sure that you go over it and design all of them. I'm going to make it a bit darker. Let's give it 70. Do the same for focus. Okay, cool. I can also design the drop-down list, by the way, which is also something that the new component gives us, which is great. Let's do all the buttons. So I'm going to use global design for this because I want all of my buttons to have the corner radius anyway. So I think it's a good opportunity to use the global design option that we have and just give the corner radius to all the buttons. Notice that if you're changing the color of them, all of your buttons are going to get the same color. So maybe that's not such a good idea because you want to differentiate between them. So in this case, I want to make the buy now stand out more than the add to cart one. So I can remove the fill color and give it like a border style. Yeah, that's good. Give the text color. Okay, so the buy now already stands out a lot more. I'm gonna design the hover as well. Don't forget that. I'm also adding border on this one because when I'm changing between the default and the hover, the border tends to increase it. So I want it to stay the same size. Okay, let's see how it looks. You see the video playing already, which gives it a lot more life when you load the page. I think the buttons are a bit long here. So what we can do is change the layout to the side-by-side layout that we offer. And this is also obviously new. We didn't have that before. And I just want to mention also this part. Here you can preview all the different types of buttons that you might have. It depends on your product, if it's a subscription product or a pre-order product. You have the out of stock here. I'm going to go back to the add to cart and buy now. Okay, info sections. So here we also offer some layouts already. I'm going to stay with the accordion one because I don't want all of the intersections to be exposed on the page. And we do have a plan to let you have them all collapse by default. So hopefully soon we will also have this option. Okay, let's go into plugins.
What are plugins, Joanna?
We talked about that earlier. So this is where you install the native reviews from. So it's a new kind of flow that you probably don't know from our previous product page. So make sure that you click on this little plugin icon. And then it comes in two parts. You have the rating summary and you have the actual review section where the users input the reviews and read the reviews. So I need to install both of them.
I think that's really a game changer, the plugins part, because you can get a bunch of mix with them, right?
Right. I didn't mention that this is a step towards extending your product page with a lot more apps that will be from the app market, and maybe even you guys could build your own apps. And as you can see here, when I hover, I'm going to show it in a second when it finishes, but it is installed in slots that we've prepared on the page in advance. And we will have a lot of slots in different areas of the page. So if you guys build your own apps using blocks and want to install them, you could choose where you want it to be installed on the page. And we could do a bunch of features this way, size charts, upsetting. This is really a game changer. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to refresh the page for a sec.
We didn't mention also one of the other plugins that we have there is the wish list that if you know the old product page, you probably are used to seeing it in the regular panel. And today it is actually also a plugin.
Yeah. So this is changing a bit. So you see it installed the rating summary, and now I need to install the second part. You see the slot here? If you can see it highlighted, that means this is the slot it installed in. So already when I install it, it opens the panel and shows me all of the things that I can customize. For example, if I want less reviews on each page, I can change that. I can change the design. For example, I have my round corners design. So we have this option here as well. I'm also going to change this a little bit. I want it to be pink. I'll have the grays. I don't want the grays. And let's do 20 pixels for the bars. And I want the button to have a corner radius as well. Yeah, I like that. I can also go and edit the review list as well. I want to change this to the pink. And you have a lot of different options here. You can change all the text designs and really almost everything. In terms of layout, they also give a few options here. We have the list, we have large cards, and we have small cards. Oh, sorry. This is the small cards, and it also has its own design. You can apply shadows even. So really cool.
That looks cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it as a list, I think. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave it as a list. Okay, so let's take it a step further and make it even more special and try to hack the editor a little bit and see what we can do. So in this case, it already comes stretched to the page, but I can unstretch it, and then basically I can put it wherever I want. I can change the width of it. I want to put it in a container, and I want to style that container. So I made a container here, That's my container. I want to stretch my container to the page, but I also wanted to have inner padding. I'm going to give it 40 pixel padding all around. Now what I can do is I can give this container the corner radius that we have. So we have this card look, and let's give it a shadow as well. I'm going to use this color. Give it a bigger blur. Let's see how it looks. Okay, this is too much. I think I'm going to make it the color a bit less dark. It's okay. You see, it's already looking like a card, making it special.
Yeah.
What else do I want to do here? Okay, I want to add another row in the bottom of the container. I'm going to use advanced CSS grid for this case. I want this to be on min content, and I want to add another row on the bottom. Okay, this should be min content, and we'll give this a minimum of 400 for now, because I want to drag our related items gallery on here. So under the stores section of the ad panel, we have the related products, which we also added some more logics and AI functionalities to it, AI based. So it's much smarter now. I can show you the things it knows how to do. So we always add this. You can choose a specific category to show. You can use show bestsellers, but related products now has 3 different logics developed by AI scientists.
Yeah, our current data science team did this, which is really cool. Actually, the bestsellers one is also new.
Okay.
So you can now automatically display your bestsellers in this gallery, which we didn't have before. And we also added 2 new algorithms frequently brought together with this product that you're seeing here, or frequently viewed together with the product that you're seeing here. So this is also like a really nice addition to the product page. You just place underneath and immediately have like an upselling mechanism on it.
So that's really cool, and you should use this. So I want to have my own title. I'm removing that, and I'm gonna take a title here. I'm gonna call it "You May Also Like." Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can ask ChatGPT later.
Yeah. I want to make it center aligned, and I want to make it wrap 24 pixels maybe. Okay. So I'll place that in the center. I want to stack them together. Yeah. And I want to place it in this row. Give them in content. Let's make sure it sits well. So now I want it to be centered. Vertically though. Okay, let's fix this for a sec. I'll just go on for now, but you get the gist of it. So different breakpoints. Let's see what we can do for tablet and mobile and how we can adjust this. So tablet here, it's looking kind of cramped. Maybe it's better to use a 1-column layout in this case. So I'm going to change it to 1 column. Now the gallery is pretty high, and it's hiding all of my information from the first fold, and I want it to fit So I can adjust this. I'm going to use a slider layout, make this a bit narrower in height, so I can fit more images and I can fit my text here. And then I also want to show the navigation arrows, which also help functionality-wise. I can adjust all the text sizes here in mobile as well. I can also change the paddings here so they fit a bit better. In mobile, I don't really want this card container. So what I can do is just maybe remove the padding from this part. Let's lock it like that. And remove the design. I don't need a shadow here. Okay, so I adjusted mobile now. I can adjust the sizes as well. Maybe this is too big for mobile, so I can adjust that. The price is also a bit big, so I can adjust it. Okay, cool. I want to show you another trick that I found we can do on Wix Studio now that we have the CSS, custom CSS. I'm going to go back to desktop. You see that sometimes the dropdown sometimes feels really wide. And we're going to open some layout customization options. We're going to add a lot more. Even here where I chose the different ratio between the columns, really soon we're going to enable you guys to choose your own ratio so you can really fine tune it. And we're going to open more and more customization like that. But if I'm a more advanced user and I want to have really control of some elements on here, I can use custom CSS in this case. Let's try to do that. So when you open the code panel, you have the CSS section. You can create a class for the container that the product page sits in and call it product page. And then address a drop-down inside the product page. It's not like a coding session, so you can dive into that later, but it's just a small little trick that you can use on our product page. And I found that it's kind of cool.
I think it's really cool. You can do whatever you want basically with this.
Right. So basically I want to give it a max width of, I want to give it a max width of 300 pixels. It's not going to show me it like this. You see, I'm getting a small error that says to view the style, we need to go to preview because it's max width, it's changing width. So maybe I'll just publish it and we'll see it published.
How long did it take you to learn this?
I learned it today, actually. So that was what we started with. Let's see what we have now. Cool. So this is not, it didn't implement for some reason. Maybe. It was working. Let me check for a second. It's just some extra stuff that I wanted to show you guys if we're already here, a page drop down next week. Yeah, it should work. It worked. This is happening because of the layout. So I can adjust the layouts, create more breakpoints, and just adjust the gallery. Another cool thing that I wanted to show you is that now we're working on new APIs. No, that's fine. We're working on new APIs right now that enable you to do much more on the product page. It's not released yet, so it's like a sneak peek. of what will be possible to do. But basically, I'm using a function that responds to me choosing a variant. So when I choose a different a specific shade, I can get the hex color of it and use it somewhere on my page. Let's see, I already put this here, you see? Now I don't want it to be on this card, so I'm just going to give this one a background of 100. Let's publish it. And let's see what it looks like. So it's a really nice touch, I think, that really makes wow moments on the product page.
And this is just the start, right? That's just an idea.
Yeah, that's just an idea that we had today to do something cool. You can also use interactions, by the way. If you're using a container, you can also create other interactions. I can create like a custom interaction, maybe with the shadow, making the shadow bigger and a bit more dark. Let's try to see what it looks like. You see, when I'm hovering on it, it responds. So you can use these different, we wanted to keep it really open, and you basically can just be creative. And
personally, I can't believe that this Wix product page.
Yeah.
Can you?
It's, yeah, you can do much more. Yeah, so I think we can go on to the Q&A part.
Right, Michelle?
Hi, guys. Wow. Thank you so much for that.
Are you excited?
See, of course, I'm excited already. I'm like, you're preaching to the choir here. So thank you for sharing all that. You guys sent in amazing questions. So we don't have time to take all of them. Although you've been getting a few answers live in the Q&A, we'll just take a few minutes to address some of them now. So this came in from several of you. Is the new product page available today in the classic editor as well?
It's not yet, right? Only in beta.
Right. We don't offer it currently in the classic editor. So right now you can only use it in Wix Studio.
Yeah.
Cool. So exclusive to Wix Studio for now.
Mm-hmm.
So this came in a variety of ways. Is it possible to transfer an existing website, or how can I get this new product page on an existing website, an existing Wix store?
So this is basically a question for everything on Wix Studio. You can export your data from an old Classic or Editor X website and import it onto a Wix Studio website, and you'll have all of your products and you can start designing.
You will have to redesign, obviously, your website.
But that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Amazing. So some questions actually came in about the category page, which is a related but different part of the purchase funnel on a Wix store. So I'll actually answer that one, which is that we're going to be doing a dedicated session just regarding the new category page in Wix stores. So that's going to be on August 29th. So look out for that one. And if you join it, you'll see me back there. I'll be there together with another member of our Wix stores team. So please go ahead and sign up for that if you're curious to hear about the category page. Some people also wanted to know about the kind of images that you can use. Joanna, you started out the talk talking about how important the image gallery is for conversion. So people were interested in hearing whether or not they can use only images and videos, or if they can use animated images, what the limitations are there.
I'm pretty sure you can use GIFs as well. And you have the videos that can autoplay. And we are planning to have 3D support sometime in the future.
Amazing.
Right. But in terms of like the kind of images that we support, it didn't change from what you already know.
Right.
But the cool part is that now you can design them so much better and, do so many cool things with them. So can use them.
Right. You have much more settings. Yeah.
Cool. Do you plan to add new plugins?
Yeah, we plan to add more slots for plugins, and from there, everyone needs to pitch in and create apps. And also, I guess we will also create apps when we can.
Right. The sky's the limit.
Yeah.
With plugins, we will create the infrastructure thread, and you can do anything you want for your clients, for other people, for yourself. And it will be hopefully very cool. We're looking forward to see what you come up with.
Yeah.
Can you currently reorder elements on the page, on the new product page?
We don't currently support that, but we do understand the need for it, and we're trying to come up with solutions for different skill types. And yeah, we do understand that need, but it's not supported right now.
Great. So since the design can be so easily customized per breakpoint, can you talk a little bit about some best practices, like specific customizations you recommend making when moving to tablet or mobile sizes?
Just make sure that you adjust your layouts like I did to make sure that everything fits in the screen, all the important part at least. Yeah, adjust layouts and sizes, basically. And functionalities. Sometimes you want, obviously on a mobile, you can't use hover functionality, so you will have to replace that with clickable items. Yeah.
Right. I think you should put a lot of focus on mobile because it's so important. Like I only shop on mobile. And so usually I don't even know what the desktop site looks like. So it's super exciting that we've added all these mobile features because we understand like how important that is for your website.
Okay, we'll take one last question, which is whether or not it's possible currently to create multiple product page templates.
Yeah, I think there's also a question in the chat that is kind of regarding this. We also understand the need for this. We don't currently support it, but we're working on it.
Amazing. So I'm actually going to wrap up there, but there are plenty of places for us to continue this conversation. So just before we close out, a few things that I just want to share with you. So we're going to share now in the chat a feedback survey. It's really, really important for us to know how this was for you. Was it in depth enough? Are there specific topics you wish we covered or that you enjoyed that we covered? Things you want to hear more about in the future? By the way, at the end of the feedback form, there's a sort of open-ended free field question. Feel free to use that for any product input you have for us, good, bad, features that you feel are missing. This is very much a living product that the team is working on right now, and they're planning the next steps. We have really, really big plans for this page, but we want to hear what you thought of this now. So we are going to be reading those answers. The team is going to be looking at that really closely. So feel free to use that to your advantage and let us know what you want. Okay, the recording for this is also going to be published on the Academy site as well as the Wix Studio YouTube channel. So feel free to rewatch it there if you miss anything, or share it with people you think it would be useful to. If your question didn't get answered in this session, or you want to continue the conversation or ask more questions, or simply share, what you love most about this, you can head on over to the Wix Studio Community forum. So we'll drop a link as well to that in the chat. And you can continue discussing the topics that came up in this webinar. And with that, I'll say thank you so much to Joanna and Ayelet and all of you for joining.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.